Hey guys, James here from Vision Landscapes. Happy to have you on board this climb with me here. We headed up this 3-stem red oak tree last week, and the goal was to install a central hub dynamic cabling system. If you look down in a second, you'll see how terrible this is. It's joined at the bottom, 3 big stems, quite heavy. So it's definitely time to do something. Get ahead of it before it gets too big and heavy, and make this tree a little safer. Highly recommend having a captain hook if you're in one of these widespread trees. It makes life much easier. Saves that extra climb. One of the 2 climbers always gets a little more work having to go to another stem, but that's all right. In this case, I was the lucky one. I had to go over. We are making things a lot easier, however, and here's a really nice trick. So that 3rd leg of the dynamic system is actually being held in place by our ground guy. You can just see him down there. So it's an extra long leg that we left, and there's a tagline on the end of that. So he's able to actually help us set the location of the central hub. So that makes it a lot easier. Otherwise, I would have to be going back and forth between these 2 stems. And as you can see, it's quite far away, so it would make for quite a bit of climbing. So this is the Yale Guardian 3/4-inch hollow braid dynamic cabling system. We've already spliced this hub on the ground, so that was ready to go. Now with this stuff, what I really recommend doing and what I found to work well is tape everything up before you cut it. It'll make life a lot easier. Otherwise, the hollow braid tends to blow up and it's a mess. It's hard to tape the ends after. So what I'll do is just tape it and then cut through on an angle and then retape it again. That'll keep your work really nice and clean. And in this case, it was probably -2 outside. My hands were absolutely freezing. I can't do gloves when I'm climbing. I find it terrible. So definitely good to keep things in order. Keep it clean. So here you can see it turns into a nice little taper once you've cut it on an angle and retaped it. And that will fit the 3/4-inch fit very, very nicely. So when you're setting that loop, which I'm going to be doing in a second, the recommendation is to leave double the stem width or that union width as space for the tree to grow. So here, just setting that chafe sleeve. What we started doing is separating our tool bags as well, which is really nice. We already had these Petzl tool bags. They're okay, but they don't hold actual tools very well, so they've been relegated to just holding that chafe sleeve. And that recoil bag, if you're looking for a tool bag, go for that. It's absolutely incredible. It holds the FID, no problem. There's a pocket for the scissors. It snaps shut really nicely. Nothing ever really gets lost, so really nice. So the recommendation, the factory spec for this Yale Guardian 3/4-inch is 2 pass-throughs. So that first pass-through will set your loop size. So you're going to do 2 pass-throughs, and then for the 3/4-inch, they want 2 FID lengths of berry through there, and it'll be a little for 1/2 inch. If you have the 1/2 inch, it will be 1 FID length, and then I do believe they have a 5/8 in between. That one will be 1.5 FID lengths berry. So some people do it differently. The reason that we're following the factory specs is so that we always have recourse to the fact that it was done that way, done properly, done the way this particular manufacturer wants it. So if ever there's any issues, if for some reason the system gets overloaded, something breaks, we know for a fact that it was done according to spec, and we can communicate that to the client. So it's just nice to have that kind of backup. If you're doing a professional job, it will work many different ways for sure. There's no question about it. Brake testing's been done on many different configurations for hollow braid, and it will mostly all hold up. But I think it's wise just to stick to factory specs. So here I've done that berry. I'm just gonna milk it through nicely. Make sure everything's good. One thing to check is to make sure that you keep all of that cable lined up in the same plane so that you're not twisting it all through this installation. So everything should be sitting flat and being pulled through flat, nice and tidy. In this case, just doing a stopper knot on there. On this end that I'm heading to is the final end. So this one is going to require a little bit of tension to be set just to get that bearing. So that's the tough part. That's a little 6-to-1 system, works great. So I've already set the eventual tension before with those 2 pass-throughs. And now with that tension on there, I can easily do that bury and then release it, and you're done. So it's a great way to work, great product to work with. Hope you guys enjoyed watching and tagging along. Any questions at all, please don't hesitate. Just contact me, leave a message in the comments or DMs, and I'll be happy to try to help you out any way I can. Take care.